Before we start, we would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For me, that's the Wurrung clan.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri peoples. Guess what?
What?
We're back, baby!
Yes!
Are you excited?
I'm so excited to be back. It actually feels like we've been gone for quite some time.
It does. It feels like we've had a break.
Which we have.
Yeah, but it really feels like, a lot of people have breaks and they come back and they go, oh my God, I do not feel like I went on a break at all. Well, we do.
We feel rested. We feel rejuvenated. A lot has happened in these last few weeks too.
A lot.
Do you want to
tell us about sandwiches? You finally got the spicy cough.
I did.
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you for having me. No, I did. I finally got the rust. I got the coronavirus.
And you got it so similar to the way I got it.
Yes, I did.
Didn't think you had it. The rat said no.
The rat said no.
This was happening. Maybe it's a flu. And then you got it. You got the same pains, the same aches, the same everything. The throat.
It was something else. Anybody who says that the rust feels like a common cold, well, lucky for you.
Yeah,
but
lucky
also,
for you.
no. I had, the headache was disgusting. The fevers were debilitating. And then it was like a cold after 3 days. Yeah. But I couldn't breathe and I still can't. I still go.
It takes a while.
But I also have low iron, so that probably doesn't help.
Well, you have had an iron infusion.
I've also, well, there we go. I've had coronavirus. I've had an iron infusion. I've renovated most of my downstairs. I think I already did that. I'm in Melbourne. So we're recording right now from me together in Melbourne with Yvie Jones.
In the same room. We can touch each other.
Almost.
Well,
we can smell each other's breaths.
Yes.
It smells like oysters.
Oh, it does. Let's tell everyone what we've done this weekend that we ended up doing this morning. Angie arrived on Friday. Today is Monday. We're recording.
Yeah.
And Friday, we had a really, really boring day. It was funny. Everyone's like, oh, what are you going to do? What did you do? Did you go out? And we're like, no, we got in our pajamas. We ate snacks and we watched TV and went to bed at 7.
You made us vegan bangers and mash.
Oh, that's right, bangers and mash. They were
lovely.
lovely.
What did we watch?
Oh,
you made me watch weird people's weddings that we don't even know, mob flashes.
No, we watched my music. We watched Dear Evan Hansen. We watched musicals. I made you watch lots of musical songs and all those kind of things. And I sang for you. And
you did.
We played with the dogs and we did all the things. And then on Saturday we went to the markets and we got seafood and we made a beautiful seafood pasta that night, marinara, which was just like, oh my God, it was amazing.
I think we spent $200 on fresh seafood and fresh
and it's
food.
Worth it. Because the food, to buy good produce, we're so lucky that we can afford to buy good produce because it's so
lucky.
Expensive.
Actually, you missed out a part. We helped each other. Well, you helped me with our social medias. So since we did that, which we've never been able to do because we haven't lived together since we kind of became, other than just Gogglebox, not just that, but we never really got to do things together like events or shows or social media stuff. So Yvie helped me with a social media thing and we did that and I was fun. Like, you're the best. She was my content director and I was like, you're the best content director. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy you a real nice dinner. But instead of going out, we just bought bulk seafood and she made us the seafood marinara. Yep. And that's the way you do it. And then we also bought all these oysters. And guess what we have for breakfast this morning?
Oysters. We had to eat them because Angie's like, oh, we better eat that seafood. And I was like, do you want to have it for breakfast?
We had
and
oysters.
She just looked at me. Just looked.
In the nude.
And you were in the nude. And I was, and you I'm trying to tell you how to use the washing machine. You're just standing there in the nude, putting all your clothes in it, and
I look like Horace, that filter from TikTok. I'm just dark as you're talking to me seriously.
Spoiler alert: she doesn't. I think everyone knows that though. But yeah, and then I've gone. We can have those oysters, and she was like, she just didn't say anything, and I knew that was yes, we are going to have oysters for breakfast.
Yeah.
And I got them out. You got dressed, and I got some lemons and salt and sat them on the table, and we went for it.
Oh, we just danced, didn't we? We danced. And we also had pumpkin soup for breakfast.
We did. I made pumpkin soup yesterday and this
we
morning.
live our best lives when we're together. Like, and Yvie will say, let's do things. And I look at her like, am I allowed? Like, I'm a little girl. I'm 32 years old.
That's the look you
I look
give
at her and I
me.
go, can we?
Yeah, that's the look. The look you give is, can we do that? And I just know that that's what the look means. And I just go, yes.
You're like, of course we can. We're two adults. We can do whatever we want.
Do whatever we want. And now that we're living together again, and this time, unlike last time, I mean, we have never lived together with money.
Yeah, we were
That's
so
the really funny thing is
yeah.
do you remember the episode? I'm talking to people who are listening to us right now. Do you remember the episode we did about Wrong Foods Cafe?
Yeah,
and we talked about all the foods that we like to eat. And like one of the things that we used to have together because we didn't have any money was Spam cream cheese on crack.
Yeah, so deluxe.
It was so deluxe and yum. And I stand by. I'm still like, just watch your privilege, because that's still, a food that a lot of people eat. So do not look down your nose at anyone that does eat Spam.
No.
But now we can have prosciutto.
Now we have oysters and pumpkin soup just because we goddamn well want to. And you know what? We're doing this thing that we don't even go out on Saturday nights. We have this thing where
my God.
our Saturday nights are so exciting. So what we do is we get this thing that looks like a blood facial.
Yep.
Yvie puts it on my fast while I sit on the toilet.
Yep.
And she puts it on her own because she probably thinks I'm going to put it in her eyes or something.
She would.
And then we both have our little blood masks on.
Yep.
We have our little seafood
You're
marinara.
only allowed 8 minutes
Yeah.
once a week. I'm up to 10 minutes twice a week now because it really stings.
Because she's a big girl and I'm new to
She's
it.
growing up. Like that's how sad we are. That we don't drink. we don't
go
take
out.
drugs.
But that was our week. Let's tell the people what you did while on the break because you were away.
Oh God, mine wasn't much of a break at all.
Yeah, actually, you
and
did
it does feel like a lifetime ago that we finished season 1 because I have done so much in our break. I went up to my father's home, and my dad has dementia, and he had a fall. He's had 2 falls actually from forgetting he's taken his medication, and he's taken it too often. Which has made him really lightheaded. The second one he was holding a cup of coffee and he gave himself 3rd-degree burns all over his arm, shoulder and back. Ended up in hospital, had 2 skin grafts. And so I also, we did know about this from the last season. I was filming for a new TV show for Prime Amazon. So I found out while I was down in Hobart that my dad was going to hospital. So as soon as I got back from that, I jumped in the car. We did our last episode.
Yeah, then you drove to...
And then I jumped in the car with the gals. I absolutely packed everything. Like I packed way too many things, but I was like, I don't even know how long I'm going to be up there for. But put everything in my car and my dogs and me and just drove to Sydney to see my dad in hospital, and then went to his house to wait for him to come out of hospital. But there was so much to be done.
Yeah.
Like there was just so much to be done. My mum died 4 years ago, and my dad's been living there alone and going slowly downhill with his memory. So there was a lot of things that really needed to be sorted out, and I started getting into that. And also just admin, like had to change we had to start getting care for him.
Yeah.
And can I just say to anyone listening, if you have an aging parent and it looks like they're going to end up needing any kind of aged care, get onto it earlier than later. It takes a long time. There is a lot of admin to get through, and there's a lot of phone calls to make, and there's a lot of waiting time. Like you go on lists for things, and then you need new assessments done. You've got different doctors for different things, GPs. If you don't have a good GP for your parent, make sure that they do have one. That's the very first port of call. Make sure they have a great GP with all of their information. Because that helps, and they will send you to the right people. We are still waiting for a new assessment for Dad. We've finally got him onto some care that's coming to his home.
Yeah.
But that's been extremely difficult. And
It's
I was
so
there
difficult.
watching, and he, just getting that right. Like, he was finding the pills again, because that's what we were really getting them for, to give him, they call them medication prompts.
Yeah.
And to make sure that he was taking his medication. But I was making sure he was taking his medication, and it was going wrong. Like, the pharmacist gave him a Webster pack. So it's got your breakfast on it, nighttime, day, everything. It's really easy. He was getting it wrong because he doesn't know what day it is.
No, that's so bizarre that they think people who have dementia could remember that.
Yeah, I know.
I forget to take my freaking vitamins properly, and
exactly, me too.
It's
exactly.
just, yeah.
So there was a lot of things going wrong that I was realizing. I had to change all of his bank, like things, bills and stuff like that. That you have to make sure he can't have. We had to take the cars off him. My father loves driving more than anything, and it was one of the most heartbreaking things we've ever had to do.
Yeah.
And he then went on a loop of every day. Where's my car?
God.
3:00 in the morning, I got my door just pushed open. Possum. I was like, yeah, are you okay? He goes, yeah. Where's my car?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, Dad.
That's such a horrible way to start to deteriorate.
Yeah.
I just hope that I pass away before that happens.
So do I. And honestly, I feel like I've heard that dementia is not genetic, which I did not know, because my grandmother died of dementia and my father is got the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I just thought this is going to happen to my brother and I as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching my brother's sister, my favourite auntie in the world, start and apparently it's not genetic. I don't know. I actually disagree with that, but I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so I probably shouldn't. But
just in your humble opinion,
if that happens to me, please, I don't have children, so you are it. Please don't let me get that far. Like, I
don't know what you want me to do.
Well, hopefully by then, because I have looked into it, and if there's neurological diagnoses and something else like cancer diagnosis, they're very different. With assisted dying, you can choose now. So I think it's a year out of a neurological diagnosis. Like they say, if you've got a year to go before they diagnose you dying, you can choose.
Girl, are you seriously going to get me, the
No,
person who
not
can't
you.
even
No.
pick what underwear to wear, to make a decision?
No, it will be a doctor.
I'd end up
it will
just
be a doctor.
doing
I
it
will
to
do
myself.
that. I would do that with sane mind, and I will. But and that's why I'm hoping by then there will be even more advances in assisted dying, and that's why I'm, so incredibly pro that kind of.
Oh my God.
Something happening. Watching.
You should not have to suffer like that. No way.
No.
God, that went down a really deep, dark hole.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
look,
that's important.
It's very important. I'm glad we got to tick that off our list. That's what we got up to while we were away.
So at the moment, Wimbledon is just happening, has just been happening. And I don't know much about tennis. I've got to say, I'm not interested. Boring, bore off. But it has been brought to my feminist brain attention. And not just feminist, but, there's a dress code. There's a dress code in Wimbledon. The bratty Australian that brats on all the time, and everyone hates him and people love him or whatever, Nick Kyrgios.
Nick,
Yeah, he's worn something different.
Oh, he wore red shoes, didn't he? Big, bright red shoes and a cap on the court. There's actually a video you can watch of him. Apparently it's really funny, but I don't really plan my whole year around
of him with the media?
Yeah, just
I
being
watched it.
Yeah, I did it.
I mean, I was quite into him giving the English media a hard time. Like, he really baited them and prodded, which was nice. But, he's a brat at the end of the day.
He is a brat. He is a big brat.
So whatever. They can have each other as far as I'm concerned. But it got us thinking, didn't it, about uniforms.
Yeah.
And get fucked.
We thought about it and get fucked. No, who was that? What's that video of the tennis player that we watched this morning?
Yeah, Daria Seville.
She skipped her period because of Wimbledon's all-white dress code.
Which you would.
And after we watched this video, she was going through it and she was explaining how she had a period. They ran out of tampons.
She didn't have any tampons
didn't
because she
have any
didn't know she was getting a period.
Which
The
happens.
physios had to bring it to her.
By the way, for people who don't get their period that are listening, you sometimes don't know when your period's coming because a lot of people will go, well, don't you know when you get your period?
She knew.
And it's like, well,
she
no.
said that normally she would use the pill to skip her period if she was going to play a game.
Yeah.
So she obviously didn't know her period was coming. But what if you don't take the pill? A lot of women don't take the pill.
Exactly.
And what does this mean? You have to start taking the pill?
This is a few questions that I want to ask. So wait. Okay, so if you want to be a professional athlete or tennis player, let's just say tennis player because this is what we're focusing on right now, you either have to be on the pill so you know where your period's coming, but also if you're anything like me, you best believe you better not have any reproductive issues because even when I was on the pill with my 5 freaking invisible illnesses, I would bleed through.
Yep.
So I couldn't plan that.
Yep.
I could not think of anything worse than already having to be a professional athlete would be so intimidating and full on, and the schedule and the training and the pressure and how much Australians love sport just makes me feel like the nerves. But then being a woman with your period, and if you have any kind of reproductive issues, that stress of thinking, oh my God, when's my period going to come? I got to play well, but my period might come. I have to wear all white, otherwise they're going to bait me.
Yes.
They're going to bait me.
And they're going to fine you.
Yeah,
they will fine you for not wearing all white.
And imagine if you don't use tampons because you can't, because a lot of us can't. I can't use tampons for many issues.
I don't want to use tampons.
So you have to wear a big fat pad with white clothes.
Yeah.
That's so cooked.
And I don't wear pads either. I use period undies and they're always black.
Yeah.
So Venus Williams in 2017 wore a pink bra and halfway through the officials made her change.
Oh my God.
It's hideous. I mean, it's just so steeped in patriarchy.
It's so ridiculous.
The men are also being made to wear these things.
Yeah.
And getting fined if they don't. It just needs to change. But it's Wimbledon and old traditional Wimbledon. It's like cricket. Cricket, they have to wear all white, in the traditional cricket game, the Ashes.
It's like all the boring sports wear white.
Yeah.
No,
they
she
do.
didn't. Oh, no, she didn't.
And the thing is that sport, you shouldn't want to wear white in any sport. I mean,
you get dirty.
What about for me, if I had to wear white in a sport, I mean, I fart a lot. And sometimes
you would shot.
There would be. I mean, and I'm asking you, tell me how many men you know that wouldn't shart a little in their white.
Properly.
Yeah. I mean, we know there's a whole subset of men who do not wipe their own asses because they think it's gay. Imagine if they were sportsmen.
They'd have shitty little white pants.
No, they would just have little minions wiping their bums for them.
Yeah, but the girls.
No, that would be gay. Yeah, that'd have to be women.
Yeah.
Sexy women too, with big boobies.
But God forbid women get their periods. Oh, God. You know what would be more jarring for them being like, how much would they talk about if they then bled through on their white?
I know.
They'd go,
I actually
call the bloody press.
Bloody press.
Oh,
look,
pun intended.
You know what? If I was, for me, if I was playing tennis, if I was a tennis player, I would wear white and I would not wear a pad just to show them
what it's
I
like.
would not be ashamed to bleed because I've never been ashamed to bleed. There is nothing shameful. Like when we're at school, every girl knows this, that you get up when you have your period or if your period is due, you get up from sitting down and you say to your friends, can you check my back?
And you'd go like
That's
this.
all you say is, can you check my back?
You'd like
and
whisper.
you walk away and you look back at your friend and they just really subtly shake their head.
Or they go.
Yeah. And we all know how that is.
Oh, I miss that.
Well, yeah, but because we were always so mortified that we were going to have a red spot on our pants. There is a great video of a girl on TikTok bleeding. And she's just walking through Pitt Street Mall and she's seeing the hidden cameras watching to see how many people let her know.
Yes, I've seen that. And there was a couple and I
only
think and then we're like, oh, you've got you're bleeding through. Yeah. As American,
but there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of to see that. So I would bleed through and say, this is why we shouldn't have to wear white, guys. And I would make a really big political statement with it. So if anyone listens to our pod that is a famous female or just a famous tennis player that bleeds.
Please
do. Make
Yes.
a political statement and, let the officials know that you're human and we are human and that half of the population of this world bleed.
We do.
And,
And
we
we're
don't want to wear
powerful.
white. Like, what is that?
Disgusting.
Oh, it's a little bit
Colty.
privilegey, isn't it?
Ew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I also kind of get it. Is it also because of like weather? Because you get really hot in dark colours.
Oh, yeah, maybe. It
But
does
it's
reflect.
also weird.
Well,
Weird.
they do it Wimbledon in England. What weather?
That's it from us this week.
That's our
And
first ep back.
It's our first ep back, and as you know, we are doing 2.
Yeah, 2.
So Thursday's eps, we're going to deep dive into topics, DMs, and sometimes some special guests are going to be on. And this week we have a very special guest. I've never met her before, but we've spoken on the phone, the phones and the Instagrams. Yvie Jones has never met her. I'd probs drink her bathwater, to be fair.
Yeah.
Brooke Blurton.
Oh, yeah.
She's lovely.
It'll be very good to have her on.
I'm excited to chat to her. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good chat.
We'll drop that on Thursday.
Yeah.
She's
She's our first guest.
Yeah,
For
first guest. And she's
season
just
2.
started her own podcast.
She
so
has.
We'll talk about that, shall we?
Yeah. Until then. Okay. So until next week. Have the day you deserve.
That was just for the vidges.
And for those who don't watch the videos, we lick our finger, then we touch our forehead, and then we do a little wave under our chin.
It's very fun.
It's very lame.
You love it. It's wonderful to be back, and I'm so glad that you're in Melbourne, just can I say.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you're here.
Next week, let's talk about our adventures, more adventures of Melbourne town. Yes. Just touched down in Melbourne
Bye.
town.